got a master plan for the Lakers back to the promised land. Spread the vision through my people, cause we fans are equal. When we reach 20K subs, yeah, we gon' drop a sequel. Another Laker anthem track, watch me run it back. Got the keys to the city where my Laker jet.
What up, Laker Nation? It's your boy DTLF back with another pregame live stream as the Lakers get set to face off versus the Pelicans at Crypto today. Very excited for this game. Anthony Davis is playing, so that's the major update right there. Very, very happy for that. I mean, bro is pushing through, so shout out to him, man, for pushing through. But how y'all doing today, man? Glad to hear from y'all. What up, Laker fan? What's up, brother? Gilbert, a Laker girl, Lakers over everything. What's up, y'all? Let's do it. Back to back. Yes, sir. All right, so so Darvin Ham just confirmed Anthony Davis is playing tonight against the Pelicans, and he was working on three-point shooting a little bit earlier. So that's the good news. Also, Lonnie Walker was raving about Darvin Ham, and he said it's one of the first times he is allowed to play through mistakes and do what he has to do. Like, they're really excited about this coach. So I think he's done a phenomenal job. I mean, we got to see everything. Yes, rest in peace to Takeoff, man. We heard November 1st, man. The horrible news. So RIP, man. Another talented artist gone way too soon. So RIP, man. That's tough. Hey, what's up, Day? What's up, bro? Yeah, I heard the Kyrie Irving news. They donated $500K each, the Nets and Brooklyn. But it's interesting to see what's going to happen there with the whole Kyrie situation, right? Now, on the New Orleans Pelicans side, per coach Willie Green, Brandon Ingram remains out, and Herb Jones is out as well. So that's two key players for them. So there's absolutely no excuses, man. We got to come up and we got to win tonight. All right? We got to build off of the last win. Now, they still got Zion. They still got plenty of good-ass role players we got to watch out for. The Pelicans are 4-2. So they're definitely one of these dangerous teams that can sneak up on you and get that W. I mean, you still got to worry about CJ McCollum. You got to worry about Jonas Valanciunas, especially with AD situation, right? Jackson Hayes, Zion, Devontae Graham, Larry Nance Jr., one of my favorite ex-Lakers. So it's definitely one of those teams that can, creep up on you, whether they're 100% healthy or not. It's always next man up for us as well. It's not like we're 100% healthy either. We're still missing Thomas Bryant and Dennis Schroeder. So let's see if we can build off of this last win and continue, to move forward. Now, I'll say this, guys. I'm going to say this about the Lakers, man. They have a golden opportunity here to seize the moment and start just building momentum, because the schedule, even though the schedule is tough, right? The schedule's still tough, but it starts easing up a little bit as we progress here through the season, right? So obviously right now we got the Pelicans. Not going to talk about the other games right now, but this is a very winnable game. Again, no Brandon Ingram, no Herb Jones for them. So they're still missing, they're missing key players, and we have to capitalize. We have to capitalize on them missing these key players, but we still have to limit the turnovers, all right? The transition buckets. We know that the Pelicans like to run in transition, and that's where they get a lot of their buckets. They're not really a half-court offense team. They're one of these younger, more athletic teams. So definitely got to watch out for that. Shout out to Toby, man. Appreciate you, man. Said, huge fan of your show for years. Thank you, brother. I appreciate the cash app. He said, do I still want Kyrie Irving on the Lakers? Well, I'm going to say this about Kyrie, man. We need less of Kyrie off the court and more of Kyrie on the court. Now, we're talking about his talent. Of course, if you add that to the Lakers, that'd be great. But with the recent controversies and all the negative attention he's bringing to himself, he probably doesn't have the same trade value as of right now. He said, AD, Russ, Pat, Bev, and the number one for KD and Kyrie and Joe Harris. I mean, listen, if we're talking about skill set, dude is still an elite scorer. He's is it a career year? He's averaging close to 30 last I checked. So he's still balling out. But yeah, of course, he has to make amends for the stuff he said. And, hopefully this donation is the start of, turning the leaf and changing the subject and everything. But it's one of those things where, yeah, man, the whole Brooklyn organization is really weird. I mean, I told you guys from the moment they assembled that cast, when they added James Harden, I knew it wouldn't work. And now they fired Steve Nash and they're trying to add Ime Udoka. So it's bigger than just Kyrie, the whole issue there. I mean, of course, they're going to look for somebody to scapegoat. But at the end of the day, look, they're hiring a coach who just went through some allegations up in Boston, and not even a year off, and they're already going to hire him. So, Brooklyn got to look in the mirror. And if I was Brooklyn, I would just start the rebuild fresh. I would trade KD. I would trade Kyrie. They already fired the coach. I would just start from scratch if I was them. But hey, that's them, and this is us. I'm focused on us right now. That's what's most important. The Lakers, and what the starting lineup is going to be. We're going to find out in a couple minutes. And also, it's one of those things where, this team right here, man, they have potential, guys. We do have potential. We saw it the last game, but, Russell Westbrook has to continue to buy it. And he's been saying all the good things in the media, so hopefully it continues to translate to winning. And I think he got his first taste, Russ did, of how gracious the fans can be. If he produces and he shows up and mentally he accepts his role. Mama Matali says Pelicans are definitely a more harder team to play against than the Nuggets, in my opinion. Oh, for sure. They're young. They're hungry. They're one of these teams that it has something to prove this year. They're a 500 team so far, 4-2. So let's make that 4-3 today. But I look forward to the matchup. I wish Brandon was here. You always want to face off versus teams at their best. But we do have to take advantage of the fact they're missing Herb Jones and Ingram. Those are two key rotational pieces. So he said, I agree. Brooklyn is a weird franchise. Yeah, I don't know why they run their team like that. But hey, they should have made a trade in the offseason. They chose to stick with it. And now, look, it's leaked over to the regular season. But hey, I try to warn them. He said, Damian seems like a great dude, but might need to release him and bring in Dwight or Whiteside. Your thoughts? Dwight Howard was good in spurts last year. Maybe it was the way that Frank Vogel was utilizing him wasn't great enough. But Dwight Howard was just okay in spurts. Now, Whiteside, I haven't seen him play, in a couple years. So I don't know how he would look game shape wise and stuff like that. But I'm open to anything. Right now, Damian Jones, I think he'll be all right. He's getting spotty minutes here and there. He's going to have to split even more minutes when Thomas Bryant comes back because he provides more energy and more hustle. So he said, Dan, AD can rest against the Jazz. We need him to win against the Pelicans. Yeah, that Jazz game is going to be really tough. As far as him resting, I'm very impressed with the fact he's been pushing through it all. Your back injury or whatnot, I mean, he just wants to play. And Coach has been saying that's all they want. They want him, their focus is to have him out there on the floor. Darvin Ham just recently spoke to the media, and he said, speaking about AD, he said, and I quote, he's just really focused on being available for us. The thing we do a lot of it is mental, but we're really efficient with our practice time and what we do during practice. He said everything has a time clock put on it. So, they're really focused on him just being healthy and continuing to be available for us because he's that impactful. I mean, literally, people have been ragging on him, but he's averaging 2 steals and 2 blocks per game. So already one of the favorites for Defensive Player of the Year candidate. He said, Dan, if Russ keeps playing how he did the last 2 games and it results in a lot more wins, I think we'll be glad he didn't end up trading him. Well, the benefit of not trading him is just one for me. Personally, the benefit of not trading him is 1, maybe 2 if he continues to buy in and he becomes a 6-man Player of the Year candidate type of guy, then that'll be huge. But, I don't want to – listen, I don't want to bite off more than I can chew. And what I mean by that is we've seen him the first 2 games. He's come off the bench. He's looked phenomenal. Let's see if he continues before we put all our eggs in one basket. I'm still open for a trade. Listen, if, again, Buddy Hield and Miles Turner have looked phenomenal, and they become available and we don't have to give up 2 first-round picks, that's still my preference. Personally, if we can give up 1 first-round pick in Russ for those 2, I'm all with it, But I do like Russell Westbrook's new attitude, and let's hope it continues. As long as he's on his roster, if he can continue with that positive attitude, whether he plays good or bad, but especially if he plays good, he'll be embraced by most fans. I don't buy Russ his 1 game. He's actually had 2 good games. I'm not sure if you paid attention, but the first game he came off the bench, even though we lost, that first half was phenomenal. So overall, he's had 2 good games. Let's see if he can build on it and have 3, though. We want to keep building that trust, and hopefully eventually it becomes a regularity. The reason why Russ works way better off the bench, and I've been calling it since last year when we had Frank Vogel. I said Frank needs to bench Russ, and he needs to buy into the Lamar Odom role where he becomes a spark and a primary focal point offensively and playmaking-wise. is because Russ still has a lot of talent, clearly. Now, Father Time is undefeated. He lost some of that explosion he used to have. He used to dunk on everybody. Now you'll see a dunk once in a blue moon, or you'll see a sick poster like last year on Rudy Gobert out of the blue when you least expect it. But overall, it's one of those things where Russ, if he buys it off the bench when the starters are tired and they need their break, you plug in that spark plug and it picks up the energy from everybody who's on the court, especially if he's going up against second units. He can really exploit that because Russ is still better than most players on the second unit, right? If not all. So that is the good news. And if he stays aggressive and he buys in with the right attitude like he has the last 2 games, then I think he could be really productive. However, I still believe we're a shooter and an extra big man away from being a real contender. I always feel like that. What up, Bertha? What's up? AD, best player in the Lakers so far. For sure. Yeah, Anthony Davis, because he's a two-way player, he has been our most valuable player, if I could say that, right? Now, LeBron clearly is still very skilled, and there's still 1A, 1B. There's no clear-cut better between both of them. They're both kind of like one game, one will play better, and the next game, the other one will. But it's nice when they both are on the same page and they both show up to the game. It's a wrap. You can't beat those guys when they're, rolling, both of them. It's really hard to win. He said, Dan, we really need a big. He said, the ones we have aren't it. He said, one injury, one not playing well. AD is exerting himself way too much at the center position. I agree. And that's just to add to the point that I just mentioned. I will still do the trade for Miles Turner and Buddy Hield, not because Russ isn't playing good all of a sudden, but because it gives us the depth we need in the shooting we still desperately need. Now, last game we shot 43% from beyond the arc. It's going to be really hard to replicate that with the current roster construction, even though Russ is playing better off the bench. However, if we limit turnovers like we did the last game, we should have a shot tonight, and that's the key right there. Limiting turnovers, taking care of the basketball gives us more opportunities, and it limits your opposition's, transition easy buckets, right? He said the Spurs trade is the best trade. Well, to each his own. I mean, some people say the Spurs, some people say Charlotte. I still think it's Indiana because it holds the best 2 players at the value which we need, a shooter and a big man, right? But to each his own. I mean, I guess only time will tell if it officially happens what was the better trade. Hey, LOE, my bro, he said, I like what he said in his talk with the media today. He is coming off the bench is beneficial for everyone, and all he wants to do is help the team whatever it takes. Absolutely, bro. Like I said, I agree. And that's what I was saying. Like, his attitude has changed in the right way. And that's good. Like, he's kind of done a 360, and that's major credit to Coach Darvin Ham, because Darvin Ham probably started him knowing he was going to lose that starting job, but he gave him the benefit of the doubt, right? And he let him show. And then when Russ finally saw that, hey, even though I'm starting and everything, we're still not winning, and me coming off the bench felt good. Now it feels like he's bought in. He was even celebrating the coach's first win along with AD, LeBron, and the rest of the crew. So this is how you know he's buying in, which I said this before the season started. I like Darvin Ham. I think he'll be the best coach since Phil Jackson. And so far, even though we're 1-5, I still think he has potential to become that, because the biggest difference I see between Frank Vogel and Darvin Ham is that Darvin Ham truly believes in his players, and he'll go to bat for them. And his players in return will run through a wall for their coach. As you can see, Russ is now running through that wall for his coach, and that wall is coming off the bench. So it's definitely hard for Russ, but he's saying the right things, and he's finally buying in, which is all Laker fans ever wanted. So this is kind of bought him a little bit more time. If not, we'd still be like ranting about making a trade, right? Had he not bought in, and he still had the bad attitude. So it's night and day between, the 2 games Russ came off the bench and before that. So that's the good news. Darvin Ham is definitely putting in work. So shout out to Darv, man. Hopefully it continues, and hopefully it translates to a victory tonight again, right? But we're facing an opponent that's quicker, right? They're younger, they're athletic, they are missing a couple of key players, but let's not take them for granted, because anybody can step up. CJ McCollum, Devontae Graham, anybody can have a big night besides Zion, and it could change the tables for them. Paul says, we can't use one game to make the argument that the Lakers has turned things around. Clearly, the Pelicans have been more consistent compared to the Lakers thus far. Oh, yeah, nobody's making the argument that the Lakers have turned things around. We need to see, like I said before, if y'all really see me really excited, got to win 2-3 games in a row, 4 maybe, before we can finally start making that claim. I haven't seen nobody say that the Lakers have turned things around. We're saying hopefully that was the key to turning things around. That's all I've been saying. But we can only hope for now, and let's see what the results display on the court, because off the court so far has been good, but on the court we need to be up there as well. All right, looks like, let's see if the starting lineup has just been announced. I believe, let me see, refreshing the timeline. There it is. All right. So Patrick Beverley, Lonnie Walker, Troy Brown Jr., LeBron James, and Anthony Davis. So the same starting lineup as last game. That is the good news. I like that starting lineup. Gives a little bit of balance. Now, some people have called for Patrick Beverley to come off the bench because his shooting has been off. But the one thing that I like is that Lonnie Walker and Troy Brown have picked up the slack as far as shooting and scoring, right, from all over the floor. So defensively, you have a nice little backcourt with him and Lonnie Walker and Troy Brown. And then up front, you got, LeBron and AD, and they can switch multiple positions. Now, for the Pelicans side, they got Valanciunas, Zion, Trey Murphy III, CJ McCollum, and Najee Marshall. So that's their starting lineup. So, again, it's going to be a hell of a challenge. But are we up for it, Laker Nation? I am. Shoot, let's hope the Lakers show up as well, man. They bring that energy. What up, Reg Dog? What's up, bro? Salute, man. He said, I sent a super chat like 5 minutes ago. Never saw it. Oh, shoot. I don't think I've seen it. If I missed it, my bad, bro. But go ahead and put your comment up again, and I'll read it. Yeah, I don't see the super chat for some reason. I guess YouTube tripping, bro. But I'll read your comment. Your next comment you post up, bro. No worries. My bad if I missed it. He said, Dan, who do you think is the best big in the NBA currently? That's tough. It's probably got to be Giannis by default, even though technically he's a small forward, but they play him at power forward or center at times. So I'm going to go Giannis. I think he's the best player in the league, period. If we're going to go by technicality, man, that's tough. I still like AD. When healthy, I still think AD is the most versatile big man because Jokic is a beast, but he cannot defend like AD. So that's why I don't pick Jokic. You know what I mean? And then if we want to talk about injuries, then Joel Embiid is disqualified. He's more injured than AD all the time, especially in the playoffs. So, yeah, I'm still sticking with AD, man. Maybe there's a little bit of bias to that, but, I like my dog AD when he's healthy, man. Again, 2 steals, 2 blocks, 24 points a game. What else can you ask for? Reg Dog said, no, it didn't come up. It's all good. I just said I hope we get the dub tonight. Yes, sir. Let's get it, Reg Dog. Listen, if we get a back-to-back win, I'm going to be super hyped tonight, all right? Especially because it's another good team, right? We already beat a good team in Denver, so we'll be beating another good team if we win tonight, man. Hopefully. He said, what's good, Dan? He said, you have the best Laker YouTube show in the universe. Appreciate you, Kelly. Thanks, brother. He said, keep doing what you're doing, family. #1 fan. Thanks, Eric. That's what's up, bro. I appreciate that our show, because this is y'all show as well, man. Listen, a lot of it is based off of the comments. So you guys make it go round, right? You guys make the Laker world go round. So thank you for being involved, man, and for the love as well. He said Matty Ice needs more time. He's a sniper for show. Yeah, you know what? Matt Ryan, and we ain't talking about the football player. We're talking about the NBA player. Matt Ryan has started to make a name for himself. And I like it a lot. I really feel like, he's going to stick in the league. Even if it ain't with the Lakers, there's always room on anybody's team for a shooter. And Matt Ryan is just that. He's a shooter. He's very solid, very consistent. When he's open, he 9 times out of 10, he'll knock it down. So that's what's up. Yeah, I would like to see him play more minutes with LeBron and AD just to provide more floor spacing for sure. He's sending the Lakers some love from Australia. Hey, shout out to Jeremy, man. Shout out to Australia. Yes, sir. Joseph isn't happy about Patrick Beverley starting. He just sent me the facepalm emojis. Thanks, Joseph, for super chat. Yeah, man. You know what? Patrick Beverley defensively has been there. Offensively, he has not. So we expect a little bit more. Hopefully, he starts knocking down those shots because they were really – listen, Laker fans were trying to sell me Patrick Beverley when we traded for him, talking about, he shoots 38% from beyond the arc. He's exactly what we needed. Well, so far, I haven't checked those percentages, but I'm sure they're not close to 38%. So, but it's a small sample size. Let's hope that he continues to improve. Rooting for him. He's a Laker now. Is Thomas Bryant back? No. However, I did see my boy Dennis Schroeder practicing, pregame, getting some shots up. So he'll be reevaluated in about a week and a half. according to reports. So that is good news. For Thomas Bryant, I'll let you guys know when we get that update. He said, that last W felt so good, warmed up my soul. We need this W tonight. Let's go. Let's get it. Listen, William, that could have been the start of something special. Let's hope it is. And let's hope we continue to build on it. Another win can take us a long way to building, something special here. Now, obviously, we're still lacking some things here and there, but you know what? The Lakers can make do with what we have, and with positive energy. It's not like we don't have two superstars in AD and LeBron. The role players step up, man, it'll be huge. And then with Russell Westbrook becoming an X factor off the bench, if he does it 3 times in a row, I'm a believer, man. He does it tonight again, I'm a believer in this new version of Russ, and I'll be really excited. So I want to see Russ come out and drop another efficient game and get his teammates involved and help the bench by providing that spark and that energy. Even Austin Reeves was excited to play. They were high-fiving him and Russ. I mean, I love the energy that they was providing off the bench. So that is good. Angel, thanks for super chat, brother. Said, if we were to win the chip this year miraculously somehow, would you consider re-signing Russ? Because the only way we could win is if all the big three play great in their roles. Oh, man, that's that. You know what? That is a tough question because he still has a lot of work to do as far as consistency off the bench. If he can do it all year, though, and he takes an immense pay cut next year and comes back for like veterans minimum, and he chooses to come off the bench again, then maybe. But for right now, I'll say no, because we haven't seen enough of the sample size where I could be like sold like he's going to be a consistent bench player, right? But it is a great question, and it's definitely food for thought. I think we should revisit this question at the end of the season. Depends on how everything turned out. And if he even stayed on the roster, there's no guarantee that he's still not going to get traded. If anything, I've been hearing rumors about his trade value going up since he's decided to come off the bench with a good attitude. So he could still be flipped for that Indiana package or something different. So if you're a Russ fan, man, it's good to see him do good for you guys. That's awesome. And for us too. For us Laker fans, it's very exciting because anything positive towards the team is a good thing. Right, anything leading to wins and helping us, great thing. But I wouldn't be shocked if he still gets traded at some point. Yeah, I just look. I'm gonna tell you this, man. I'm gonna tell you this, and Russ fans gonna be mad. That's fine, bro. This ain't the channel for you if you get offended that easily. But I'm gonna say this: Russ can't shoot. Right, it's a shooter's league. Right, his defense is good sometimes, but he's never been known as a defender. His playmaking has been questionable in the starting role. So if he's coming off the bench, even with all that athleticism and all that, he already made $47 million, which, let's be honest, he's getting overpaid. Because at this point of his career, $47 million to come off the bench, and who knows if you're going to be solid or not? You know what I'm saying? So one of those things. So I'm just being honest with you. As of right now, that's what I would offer. That's max if we go far in the postseason. Other than that, I still wouldn't want him back because it becomes a liability unless he's really fully going to come off the bench and embrace that role forever for the rest of his career. So there's a lot of ifs that get attached to that question. I'm just giving you my honest opinion, right? Hey, for sure, Reg, dog, for sure, man, for sure. Listen, I have a plan, right? And everybody who follows me on social media, I've already spoke about it. I said the next time I go to a Laker game, we should probably, all sit in the same section and kick it and watch the game. Like we should get the tickets ahead of time and, just mob it out there, man. A bunch of us Laker fans, just that would be really fun. So I will let you guys know whenever that happens for sure. You said Russ will get a contract somewhere. Hopefully he does. For sure. Listen, I'm not against anybody feeding their family. I'm all for it. But I'm being quite frank with you. I love this new version of Russ so far. But that's the key, man, so far. And it's even better when we're winning. But as soon as we lose and the finger pointing starts again, who's going to go down? So it's way too early to talk contract extension and all that. He might not even make the rest of the year, to be honest with you guys. But it is a good thing that he's doing great things these first 2 games, right? These first 2 games. Joseph, appreciate you, bro. He said, just curious, who's your favorite football and baseball teams? The Dodgers and the Rams, man. And yeah, I know. We went out sad, the Dodgers this season, but we always bounce back, man. Yeah, unfortunately, we spent all that money and they kill it during regular season, and then we come up short more times than not. But I love the Dodgers. I don't watch them all year long, man. I don't got the time. But, when I do tune in, it's definitely the Dodgers. And as far as the Rams go, man, I'm very disappointed in the O-line this year, but I believe in miracles. Let's see what we can do for the rest of the year. What's up, Mark? That'd be awesome for a bunch of us to go to the Laker game. Oh, yeah. Just hit me up on social media because I've been getting spammed like crazy, and I definitely would DM the real ones, not the spammer bots. He said, hoping we get back-to-back W's today. Yes, listen, it is crucial if the Lakers want to build something special to keep this winning streak going. Let's start it tonight with a 2-game win streak. And then the next game, we could beat the Jazz as well, but I don't want to get too far ahead of myself because they're a good team this year. But it takes one game at a time. Hey, you like Trojan football or the Bruins? Probably the Trojans, but in basketball, it's the UCLA Bruins. So it all alternates, depending on the sport. Chargers got to win something for them to be on par with the Rams. Facts. Chargers ain't shit. Not this season. I mean, they're a good team. They got, good players. Obviously, the quarterback's phenomenal and all that. But this is a city of champions. And last I checked, whose house? Who won last season, right? So we beat them to the punch. And I'm glad we did because I picked my Rams the moment they landed here. What if Shooter plays better than Russ? Then they're going to have to split minutes. I doubt that Russ will get benched fully because then it's going to bring a lot of drama. And I think, as you can see, Darvin Ham was shedding tears of joy for Russ getting, a standing ovation from the Laker crowd and all that. And he was excited he got that love. So I don't think he'll want to take that away from him. He said, Dan, what about my Miami Dolphins? Hey, listen, Tua, is really fun to watch. So shout out to your Miami Dolphins, man. Tua is a beast. That's all I can say about the Dolphins. Dan, the Cavs look great. Cavs the real deal. I like how the Cavs look. I'm not going to lie. My brother was actually just texting me earlier today, man. Shout out to my bro. He was telling me the Cavs look really, really good. And Donovan Mitchell has been nothing short of spectacular. That's why I always used to tweet about how the Jazz should just set Donovan Mitchell free because they were just wasting his talent. Now he's on a team that has real depth, and they're looking to make some noise out there, man, in the East Coast. So it's going to be really fun to see how far they can get, the Cavs, that being, the Cavs. But the NBA is so full of talent, and teams usually never peak around this time of the year, right? Teams usually start peaking in the NBA later on, down the road, like, I don't know, February, around there. That's when you really start seeing the true identity, December, January, February, different dates. But like right now, for example, the Jazz, you look at them on paper, they look solid because they got a bunch of veterans and a bunch of good role players. And you look at their record, they're really good. But are these teams going to hold up, January, February, March? Who knows? They might start falling off. So, I look forward to seeing how the landscape starts changing up. And hopefully that happens to our Lakers. Hopefully we got off to a slow start, but hopefully we figure it out and we start building for something special. And come, late December, early January, we can truly see our true identity. At least that's what I'm hoping for. He said, our one major pickup, Pat Bev, is a bust. Well, I was never excited when we acquired him simply because I just don't see, I thought we were going to go after like a floor spacing guard or, some sort of a bucket getter who can maybe be a two-way. And in a way, we kind of did get, I want to say floor spacing because he's a primary slasher, but Lonnie Walker kind of fits that description. He truly makes up for what we lost in Malik Monk. So Lonnie has been our biggest pickup for sure. But as far as Pat Bev goes, I'll still give him time. He's got time to get it right. But he hasn't really blew me away with his defense. He's been good defensively, but he hasn't been the dog that we remember playing every time we played him and all of this stuff. So I want to see that version. I think I only saw him play like that one game. So I want to see him do that every game and then knock down your open shots. That's all. And don't force it because a lot of times he does like the little jab fake three with somebody in his face. You're not that guy, Pat. Hit the transition ones. That's fine. When you're wide open, shoot it. That's fine. But, we need him to just step up the shooting percentages a little bit more. That's all. Then the O-line looks better week by week as they get healthier. I'm disappointed in the Rams GM, Les Snead, for not getting us a pass rusher before the deadline. We need one desperately. Yeah, dude. This season we got off to such a horrible start. Yeah, but especially on the with the old line and all that. And you're right, we look a little bit better week by week, but it's one of those things where they gotta continue to build, man. They gotta continue to build every single game, and hopefully eventually they get to where we need to be a true contender again. But the trade deadline came and went, and we didn't get any major contributors, so that was disappointed, especially with Les Snead and all his preaching he does about picks and all this. But you know what? Let's see what happens. I still have faith. Even though we lost again to the 49ers, that shit hurt like crazy. But hopefully that's the last loss in a while, and we can start stringing together some wins here and hopefully make the postseason. Anything's possible there. Have you seen any good movies lately? Let's see. Good movies. Nah. Nothing really like worth talking about, but bruh, I can't wait to go see Black Panther. Like, I'm so hyped. Like, Black Panther is the first movie I'm truly excited about probably since Batman. So I'm excited to go see Black Panther. Who's going November 11th, man? Y'all got your tickets already? Who's going? I want to know. Yeah, because that movie's going to be lit, man. The trailers, I mean, everything looks phenomenal. I love the first one, so let's see. He said, the reason Bev held a grudge against us is that we drafted him in 2010 and dealt him. No, but Patrick Beverley, to me, has always been mostly bark and a little bit of bite. That's just a fact, right? And now that he's got to his final destination where he wanted to be, hopefully he doesn't get comfortable. He still needs to have that hunger and that chip on his shoulder because he needs to hopefully surprise, those of us that didn't believe in him. That's what I'm hoping for. He said, do you watch any soccer or football? I'm very casual with all that. I got cousins that watch soccer, so shout out to them. But when the World Cup comes around, my family always gathers around. We watch it, man. The World Cup is it's traditional, man. Whether you're watching Team USA or in my case Mexico, it's just every 4 years, so it's very iconic. I look forward to it starting this month, so I'm excited for the World Cup. He said, Dan, do you think Kyrie's a little weird or nah? Still, he said that film screen weirdo for me. You know what, man? I don't like to label people. Like, that's not what I like to do. I'll do it if it's glaringly obviously. And I think, Kyrie has his motives and whatever, and I don't know what's going through his mind. I'm not his personal shrink. I think he's still a good dude. He gives back to the community, does good things. I think he's made some mistakes, and that might have been one of them for sure. But hopefully, we can all learn from our mistakes and move forward and just be better people. I don't think Kyrie's a bad dude. I just think, honestly, I think he's very different, and sometimes different gets labeled as weird. We do it with other players as well, like Kevin Durant. You can slap the same weird sticker on him as well. He might be misunderstood. So that hope, but I'll tell you what is weird though. That Brooklyn Nets organization, the way they operate has been really weird. Like, they don't punish players. They didn't make the trades when they said they were. They ended up firing the coach that Kevin Durant wanted fired, but for a different reason. Now they're going to hire somebody who just got punished from Boston. So you want to know what I do think is weird? I think Brooklyn, the Nets organization is extremely weird. And that makes no sense to me, the way they run that team, right? You would think they would have already blew it all up. They fired the coach. You trade Kyrie, you trade Kevin Durant, and you start from scratch. But nope, I don't know what they're doing. I guess they just want to let Kyrie walk. And I don't know what they're going to do with KD in the summer. But, yeah, it's just that is weird to me, the way they operate, for sure. So, Dan, if the Nets blow it up, where do KD and Kyrie get traded? You know what? I have no clue what their trade market is, to be honest with you. With all the controversies, you have to think that their trade value has plummeted even more. I don't see too many franchises that are going to, go ahead and try to acquire Kyrie, especially. Maybe KD for sure. He always has value because he's such a phenomenal superstar. But, Kyrie does come with some baggage. Much as I love him on the court, off the court, he does come with some baggage. And that's okay. But you buyer beware. Whoever gets him, you have to know that, he's different. So he said, shout out from Rosemead, California. What's up, Andres? What's up, brother? Dan, Cavs just beat the Celtics now. Cavs are legit. I mean, look at the depth. And I think they just got Darius Garland back today. So they're a real deal, man. And I can't wait to see, when the playoffs come around, who's going to step up and who's going to step out. So it's always exciting. Even the play-in tournament. I get excited even for the play-in tournament. So good basketball. But all right, back to the Lakers, man. We got a little sidetrack. So Lakers, Pelicans, keys to tonight's victory, man. Listen, their starting lineup is no joke, okay? Again, Jonas Valanciunas, Zion, Trey Murphy III, who can space the floor and do some things inside with his size, and CJ McCollum, who's always killed the Lakers, all right? We need LeBron James and Anthony Davis to be their usual great selves, right? Put up the big numbers efficiently, preferable. Limit turnovers. We only had 9 last game, so that's another key to the game. And we know Zion's about to go off and CJ McCollum, but don't let there be a third bucket for them, whether it be Jonas. We can't let them have like a 2015 game, or whether it's Trey Murphy III or somebody like that, because then it becomes really hard for us to win. Also, if our role players could step up, again, I would love to see Lonnie Walker have another great game like he did last game. He was a huge reason why we won, because, he started hitting those threes and we got the momentum in the third quarter and we never looked back. So Lonnie Walker hopefully could be the third option, or if not, Russ off the bench would be great as a spark plug and all of that. Any final questions before I get off, though? Again, really quick shout out to my sponsor, Prize Picks, man. They've been phenomenal to your boy and to everybody who's actually tried it out. You guys have told me how much you love it. I haven't really heard anybody say they hate it. So it's a great app to get in on daily fantasy sports, man. Definitely check it out. Promo code DTLF for those of you that want 100% deposits match guaranteed. And yes, I already did the starting lineups, bro. But for you, I'll mention it one more time. Our starting lineup is Patrick Beverley, Lonnie Walker, Troy Brown Jr., LeBron James, and Anthony Davis. So the exact same starting lineup as the last game. But thank you guys so much for tapping in, man. Always a blast. I'll see you guys here. I'm not sure if I'll do halftime because I got some stuff to do at the half. But I might just put it off to the side. Depends on how exciting the game is. And you might see this mug here at the half. If not, I will for sure see you guys here for the post-game recap. So enjoy the game. Go Lakers. Let's get this dub, baby. Let's go. And I'll see you guys right after. Peace.